Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Pitstop Fracas. Today, joined by your host Richard, and we're here to talk about none other than absolutely chaotic Russian Grand Prix. And today, we've got almost a full house, but close enough. And we're joined by four cast members, and we're going to start off with you, Mahad. Mahad, how are you?
I'm all good. I'm recovering from that race. For once in our lives, we've seen a good race in Sochi. So we can't say we've been starved this season in Formula One for entertainment. But yeah, I'm all good, brother. How you doing, Richard?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, bro. Not too bad. As you said, yeah, it's, when Sochi's throwing up a good race, then, you can definitely tell what happened this season, for sure. Nam, how are you today, brother?
I'm good, man. I just saw the greatest of all time do 100 wins. So I've been blessed to witness history today. So I can't complain. But there's some other matters that we're going to address in the podcast that needs to really be dissected and taken to court. So I'm looking.
Don't worry, we'll get to that, brother. We'll get to
good,
that.
Good.
Definitely. You don't miss a step round. JL, how are you today, bro?
I'm good. I'm ready for what's to come. I see you smiling. I know we're good. I'm good.
I'm not too bad, bro. Not too bad. A bit of a mixed day in some regards. Obviously the goat got the win, and other people got shit results. Well, don't worry, we'll get into that. Mart, last but not least, how are you today, bro?
It's a good day, man. It's a good day. The ops got caught lacking at Emirates. It's a good day, bro. I can't lie.
You love it when the ops get caught lacking, don't you?
I'm loving it, bro. I'm out here repping for my boy. Got his heritage, the dirty flag. I don't care, but I'm ready. Let's go. 100 wins.
Cool. All about diversity on Pitstop Fracas, as you can see. So, anyways, let's start off with proceedings. No, then qualifying. As you know, funny enough, none of us seen qualifying before. We only caught the highlights because I'm absolutely useless around here, don't we? But, we've seen an absolute, barnstorm of qualifying. Norris got the first pole of his career. Sainz got an impressive P2, and also Russell got P3 with Lewis on P4. So I'm going to start off with you, Mart. What's your assessment of qualifying and the performances from the top four, actually?
The top four. So
the top four. You want the honest truth? Finished?
Do you want the honest truth?
Yeah.
You want the honest truth?
Yeah, of course. Open the bacon from.
Certain people's acts was a bit fugazi. But but you know what? He made the right call and he made the right decision, so you can't blame him for that.
Who you talking about?
Who are you referring to, brother?
Yeah, who you talking about?
Who's last week?
You talking about, brother? You talking about?
The one and only GR63. But he did well. He as I said, he made the right call, he made the right decisions, and that's what Formula One's about. Sometimes it's not always about, it is always about the quickest lap, but it is also about making the right decisions, as we clearly saw today, that sometimes we can make the wrong decisions and it end up really badly for a driver. But George Russell yesterday in qualifying made the best decisions for the car, and he managed to put it on P3, and great job from him. Well done to him.
Okay, that's fair enough. Nam, what's your take on yesterday's qualifying?
I think yesterday. Okay, so yesterday's qualifying was, it really put perspective as to who has good driving brain. Like their mindset is thinking about their conditions, thinking about the car underneath them, what they have, and how they can use that to the best of their ability. Lando Norris did that yesterday. Carlos Sainz did that yesterday, and one Mark says is Fugazi did that exceptionally because he had a Williams, which to me is, like I've said previously before, it's not the fastest car on the grid. It's probably the slowest or the second slowest?
It's
probably
not
now.
the slowest. Nam, it's not the slowest.
Second slowest.
It's not the second slowest. It's
the
not
second
as
slowest.
slow. Even Max said it. He came out and said it. Listen, everyone.
Oh, so we're
thinks
listening to Max now.
Oh yes,
Oh,
he's second in the driver championship, isn't he? I listened to him. He's got 7 years experience. Like, it's not as slow as everyone says it is. It's like,
okay, Mark, hold on one sec. Just to tap in real quick. I seen a graph that said on average, Williams are marginally the 9th quickest team on the grid. So, take that over one lap pace. So take that as you will. So
I get that. I mean, like, but obviously, as I said before, you got, like, if you're only comparing him to Latifi, you can't really judge.
Who the hell cares about Latifi? What are we doing here?
Doesn't matter.
Under the Williams, so if you can't compare him,
he's not the benchmark. The man's got.
As I said, listen, he's doing well in the Williams. He's doing well. The Williams is obviously getting good one lap place. That must be more design as well, because if they're consistently doing that.
Not the Williams. It's George Russell.
Where's the Williams? Because it's consistent. If it's consistent, if it was once or twice, you can understand it's George Russell. But this is consistently always getting into Q3. This is based on design. They're trying to get the best one lap pace out of the car.
Let me say this. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So where did Latifi qualify?
As I said, so now you want to compare him to Latifi now. So now you want
to. He changed his engine, so he didn't need to do. He didn't really need to qualify.
And that's true.
He had a penalty.
Yeah, but where did he qualify? Even because he changed his
engine in Q. He changed his engine before qualifying, so he knew.
He didn't need to push.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So, second question. In the last 15 races, how many times has Latifi qualified Russell?
No point.
It's zero. It's zero. But as I said, you can't compare Russell because he's not with a competent driver. But how many people? Let me ask you a question. Do you believe Latifi should be on the grid? Because I will find footage.
My criteria for someone to be on the grid here is a racer that has either won a junior title or has been runner-up. So take that how you want.
But that's how Maldonado ended up in F1 as well. I used to want Maldonado back then.
More titles.
Do you want
Maldonado initially deserved these seat.
Yeah, he was
I don't know what happened transpired afterwards, but
in hindsight, I wouldn't say he deserves this seat.
How do we get from Russell's?
I don't know. Maldonado won a race. Let's not forget.
Yo, this is a mess.
Okay, this is a complete mess. I don't know how about
What I said was the Williams isn't as slow as everyone thinks it is.
The point I'm trying to make here is let's even look at this like at work here. If you have a job like someone else and you're underperforming in your job and someone's overperforming in your job, that's all I can compare you to, right? You still got the same equipment that you both have to work with. All I'm doing is comparing, right? So if that car, like what Richard said, is the 9th quickest car, and I'm seeing George Russell get to Q3, he's obviously exceeding his car. Maybe Latifi is underperforming in his car, who knows? But the data and the graphic shows that he's exceeding it. Fam, today, Latifi finished what? Like 17th, 16th? And Russell finished in the points. So
19th. Yeah.
So
that's about 19th.
So look, to me, you have to give some kind of praise on Russell's qualifying performances.
It is good. It is really good. But as I said, if it's so consistent, you can't just say it's just solely him. You have to give the team credit, which I don't feel people actually want to give the team credit because they say it's a Williams, it's a slow car, and he's just doing the best. There is ways of you can design your car to get the best one lap pace, so you know.
The reason why
at the end of the day, look it's like it comes down to money. If you're not going to get money on the Sunday and they're able to put their car in the limelight on the Saturday, you're not getting as much views, but you're still putting your car in that limelight. George Russell's consistently getting that car in the limelight, so they will get more sponsorship money from that.
Are you saying that Williams are systematically only allowing Russell? Considering that there's more money, as more money.
I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this systematically.
Are you saying that the Williams team is consistently putting one car, with better performance than the other Williams car?
No, I'm saying only one driver can get that performance out of that car.
This is nasty. Let me just step in. Yeah,
It's not that
this is
nasty.
nasty.
I'm not taking
so-
away from the boy's skill.
he has
I'm not
no
taking-
right to even put a Williams on P3.
No,
And for him to even
right.
put it on P, no
Well, if
right.
the next car,
no
if the
right.
next
I don't-
fastest time was in intermediates, of course he has every right to do
He
it.
has no. He has no right. And
Yes.
I'm listen. He's clearly outperforming his car. He's clearly too good for that car, and he's showing his talents. And the way to show your talents, especially if you've got a car that's got no race pace whatsoever, is through qualifying and that 1 lap pace. And he's showing, look, he's really about this. So I know you really want to like kind of get your jabs in. As you're a Lewis Hamilton fan, you're just trying to like protect yourself before what happens next year and so on. You don't need to do that because Lewis is the GOAT. He's got 100 wins. Don't panic.
Mahad,
Stay calm.
Are you saying that George Russell is going to beat Lewis next year? Because that's what it kind of sounds like you're saying.
All I'm saying is he'll be better than Bottas. That's all I've got to say.
Oh, there's
That's
no
what
doubt about that. We don't.
I
we
really
saw
don't have
what
like
Bottas is on today.
I don't have a positive or negative spin on Russell. I'm just neutral. I'm just going to see what happens.
Yeah, we'll
But
see
what I
happens.
can't do is deny what I've seen in front of my eyes. And what's happening in front of my eyes is him putting a Williams, an absolute shitbox, on P3. He's done it twice. He's out qualified two Mercs and a Red Bull twice.
Right.
All right, Spa was amazing. And as I said, that was amazing. You can't deny that. But this one, it's a bit more. There's a lot more factors that go into it, this P3 rather than just a straightforward P3. Is that fair to say?
No.
No.
Anyway,
It's
next
still
one.
amazing.
But anyways, I think we should talk about.
If there's other factors or not, this is still an amazing lap. To be fair, okay,
Yeah.
Mars, for you, just really quick. What does George need to do in order to impress you? Because you're saying with that Spa lap, oh yeah, that impressed you before, and you wasn't saying that before, and you said it was Fugazi like a couple of weeks ago. All of a sudden, you changed your mind. So you're probably going to do the same thing in like 2-3 weeks anyway with this lap.
No,
so what does George need to do for you to say it's not
for
Fugazi? No, but you did say that a few weeks ago, though.
I did.
You said
footage of it.
Labo
Preach
was
on,
Fugazi.
preach
There's
on.
future.
The footage
There's-
hasn't changed since then. No, Mats. The footage hasn't changed since then. So what is it now that makes you say, that was hard? From before and when you see that live, you said no, that was Fugazi.
Yes, Basta.
Because you're probably going to do the same thing again with this lap as well. Even though George made the right decision to come on to Inters and then do what he needed to do in order to qualify third, which is regardless amazing. Regardless of, like, I'm just putting the facts
I'll
on the
find the
table.
footage.
Hallelujah.
I'll
Like,
find the footage.
it's the ninth. If
Because
it's the ninth
I remember
fastest
saying,
car with
I can't
Alpha
cap.
marginally.
I remember
No,
saying
it's the
I
ninth
can't
fastest
cap.
car. Well, you still
No,
said
they're
what you
gonna
said.
clip
though.
you, They're
You
gonna
still
clip
said
you.
what you said.
They're
It
gonna
was even
clip
on the
you,
pod on the
though.
group chat. I can't remember. But you said Lavo. Nah, that's Fugazi though. That's Fugazi. About the Spa lap, you did, and you can't cap on that. And now you're saying, oh, this Russia lap is Fugazi as well. But why is it though? Why is he not?
Tell
What
the
are you
truth,
saying?
the film, the devil.
George car's illegal? Are you saying, oh, they're fucking over the TV? Like, what is it? Because
I
this
know,
agenda's not adding up. The math ain't mathing. At least in Man of Mahad's agenda against the Clerk, the math is mathing in some ways. The math ain't mathing too much with this Russell agenda. I can't lie to you. Even if you got a beef with it, you can't. You know what I mean?
I explain
I'm
my
just-
reasoning.
Boy. Okay, explain it. Explain it clear as day right now on the pod.
As I said,
So that
the
when we
next
clip
fastest
it-
time. As I said, the next fastest time was on intermediates. That's all. Done. That's it. That's what I'm saying. I said he made the right decision. Well done to him. But the next fastest time was on intermediates.
Okay, we'll leave it as that. Until next time, next few weeks, you change your mind again. But anyways, moving on. Anyways, let's talk about Lewis's. Anyways, let's talk about Lewis's errors in qualifying and practice as well for some reason. Mars, I'm gonna come to you again on this because you're now starting to count practice errors as part of a questionable season. Can you break that down for us, please? Because as far as I'm aware, no one got hurt.
Yeah, but just because no one got hurt doesn't mean someone couldn't have got hurt. No, what I said was that he's been doing a lot of uncharacteristic things this season, and it's been showing. Things like brake magic in it might be free practice, but that is still quite dangerous especially when you're driving an F1 car, and you know how fast these cars can go in a matter of seconds. So to be doing something like that it's not normal for Lewis. That's what I'm saying. It's not normal. So he's doing uncharacteristic things. and I'm just highlighting all the uncharacteristic things that have happened this season, whereas in past seasons he hasn't actually done that before. So it wasn't like for me. I'm hard, but I am also hard on Lewis because I want him to do well. I believe because he is the GOAT. He's proven that he's the GOAT. But when you're doing these things, especially when there's so much people questioning you about the pressure getting to you, you're looking kind of funny. You're looking kind of funny if you're doing these little break magics. This is the second time this season. I've never seen him do it before, ever. But this is the second time in one season I've seen him do it.
Okay, just to counter your point, yeah. You said, okay, in practice, Lewis hit the magic again. Might have hit some mechanic a little bit, whatever, cool. When Gio spun and almost took out Leclerc in practice, you wasn't saying nothing then, was you? Is that not dangerous? At least more dangerous than what Lewis is doing?
Yeah, but
no, but you didn't say nothing. He did it.
There's a difference between Lewis and Gio. Like, I have fun with Gio. Like, I don't.
Hold on, no. Hold on. They're both Formula One drivers. They're both in the top 20 of the best drivers in the world. Yeah. There's no excuse if you're in a Mercedes, an Alfa, a Williams, a Haas, whatever. There's no excuse for it. We've got to be consistent across the board. When Gio done it and Leclerc was just behind, and luckily Leclerc was not that much of a bozo, we can avoid it. You could have took out Leclerc, but you didn't say nothing then, did you? But also, and your points about George as well, when you're saying about George is doing Fugazi qualies, when Gio's doing Fugazi qualies, getting
listen, I'm not Anik. I shouldn't be called
you're
today,
there shaking Nash. No,
this is very dangerous.
This is wild.
You're there shaking Nash over Zandvoort and whatever that other place was, Monza, but he got 7th in a row, but was ended up going on backwards. Okay, one of the times he had a problem, but I don't give a shit. The other time, as far as I'm aware, he didn't have a problem, but you didn't say nothing then when he was still going backwards. But yeah, he's meant to be what, a generational talent. So, Gio.
Who's that?
What do you mean? Who's that? Giovinazzi. You know who it is?
It's penny stocks.
You're the CEO of the fan club.
It's a penny stock.
No, hold on.
It's for the people. It's not for me.
It's for who? Who?
It's for the
Who is Giovinazzi?
It's for the entertainment.
What are you talking about? What people? Forget about it. Do you know what? I think you've been quite melodramatic about Lewis's errors that he's been making. I think you are. Him accidentally hitting that guy in practice. Who cares about practice? The guy's alive. We don't need to be too dramatic about it. It's all good. You know what I mean? That's a situation that really didn't have any consequence. The guy is okay.
There we go.
The problems that happened in qualifying yesterday, as well, in terms of him hitting the wall. Yes, that's a mistake, but guess what? He's the benchmark to himself. He's only chasing himself. He's trying to beat 2020 version of him. He has no peers or competitors within this sport either. Yes, Max is doing what he's doing, but he's in an inferior car. So he's just trying his best to do what he's doing. Of course, with the brake magic and the little errors in there, he's human. Of course that's going to happen. I think people are being over dramatic and nitpicking a person that's a 7-time world champion. That's won 100 races. We don't need to, he doesn't need to always achieve the standard set by himself. All he's doing is beefing himself in the mirror. That's what we're dealing with at the moment. So I think we're just taking it a bit too harsh. I know you're doing stern dad mode with Lewis because he's not doing what he's exactly been doing for
I'm not a non-believer like other castmen. Yeah, we'll get into that later. But I'm just saying there's things that are happening, and it's happened more, and it's been more occurrent this season. That's all I'm highlighting. I'm not.
He's not got the vehicle behind him, and he's not got the team behind him.
Yeah,
they're the ones that are. It's a knockdown effect. It's not. Yeah, it's not a case where Lewis is messing up and the team are onto him. The team are messing up in terms of having the correct car for him and doing the correct strategy for him, and it's having a knock-on effect onto him. But guess what? He's still leading in the championship in an inferior car. That's all that matters.
He doesn't always help himself, because if this was a different track and he hit the wall in qualifying, it could be a different story now. So,
but if some buts, that don't happen. That's not reality.
It's if some buts. It is if some buts.
We're nitpicking. We have to just appreciate excellence when he's in front of us, and just appreciate it, and just see how it goes from there. Nitpicking and saying, okay, I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan, but still nitpicking every single little thing that he's doing, areas because you're not used to seeing it, guess what? That's going to happen. It's called competition. And he's still on top at the moment. So I don't think even, not just you, just other people that are just out there listening as well, I don't think people should really be worried about Lewis Hamilton at the moment.
I still say he's getting number 8 this year, so it's fine. Number 8 still happening.
Interesting indeed. Kunle, great for you to join us back from One Oak in Canada. How are you today, bro?
I'm very well, thank you.
Came with the purple do-rag. I see you, my G.
I see you, fam. Yeah, on brand. I love it.
Purple and black over there, B.
Of course. Kunle, I'm going to come to you on this. Lewis's Evers, is it that deep, or is there something to it?
Nothing, to be fair. I feel like people are just, again, Mahad said it, it's nitpicking. I tell people, not everyday black excellence. Some days black mediocrity, You don't have to be great all the time. Just because you're a black man, don't mean you have to be great all the time. Some days, it's not everyday black excellence. Let the man just...
Before you continue, can I just caveat that people who are listening to the pod, just at this moment, go and watch the pod and you realize that Kunle is a black man. So you don't go and come and kill him. Because that was what...
None of us are catfishing right now. We're not blackfishing right now.
Yeah. He is a black man. So, yeah.
But yeah, no. I feel like has he made mistakes more than he probably does? Maybe. But have those mistakes been mistakes that are like, you know what, you're not allowed to make these mistakes? No. He's not gone crashing into people unprovoked. It's not maybe okay. The one that happened in practice, thank God it wasn't more dangerous than it was. But thank God no one got hurt. But he's not taking out his teammate in the pit lane. He's not missing buttons on the steering and taking out his teammate on the track. He's not crashing into people on the road, misjudging the corner. He's just making little mistakes that a human being is allowed to make. And I feel like he should be allowed to make those mistakes. And it's just highlighted because it's Lewis. And I'm sure if every driver is looked at, if you watch the onboard of every driver driving, you would see all of them making mistakes, probably more than often. And people are a bit... I feel it's just unfair in a way, like... This man has won 4 championships on a bounce. Let him have. And the funny thing is, even with all these mistakes, he's still leading the championship, and is still winning races, and he's just won his 100th race. No one in this sport has what he has. He's got double. He's got triple doubles because 100 plus poles. 100 plus wins, and people are talking about mistakes in practice, flipping practice, But yeah,
it's blown up. I
feel like it's blown up. Should it be talked about? Maybe, but should it be talked about the way it's being talked about right now, like the end of the world? Like, oh, this mistakes is costing him the championship as it is. I don't think so. Personal opinion again.
I just want to highlight, I'm not one of those people. I just say he's doing uncharacteristic things, just so before you lot come after me again.
That's
go after him,
that's
go after him.
Don't worry, the streets will bag you. Don't worry. Anyways, moving on to the race starts. I'm gonna come to you on this, Mahad. The McLaren boys, looks like Norris and Danny Rick got off to good race starts. Break it down for us.
So first of all, I just want to say Norris put an absolutely lightning lap in for Quali and stuck it on pole. His first ever pole in his career. First of many, hopefully. And I think we showed that we had a lot of pace the whole weekend. And I really thought, okay, this is a good opportunity to get some good positions for both Ricciardo and Norris. On the start, Norris got away well, but just on the first corner, Sainz pipped him a little bit, but we were still in a position where The race win was still there, and it looked like Russell still maintained his position of third, and then we saw a DRS train that he kept on holding up, so it allowed Norris and Sainz to pull away and have their little battles on, so on. Ricciardo had a really good start. He's had quite good starts, especially in Monza as well. He had a good start as well, and it looks like we're in a position where we've actually got clearly the third fastest car now, and I think Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris are taking advantage of that. We'll speak about what transpired later with Norris, but I think in terms of the start, it was the perfect start to have us in the positions that we needed to get some really high positions and possible podiums. And I think the first 50 laps, I don't think Norris put foot wrong. But we'll speak about what happened later.
Don't worry. We'll get into that.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. Don't worry. JL, looks like the Rari boys got off to a good start as well. Talk to us through Sainz and Leclerc.
No, they did. Sainz, I thought he might hit Norris at the start, just purely because I thought Norris might be a bit nervous, and he did. More to do with just the slipstream. I think he led for about 5-6 laps. I was never confident he'll stay ahead because, as Mahad said, McLaren are comfortably the third fastest car on the track. Leclerc, I think, went from 19th to about 11th or something by like the second corner.
It was like 12. Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah,
it was nuts. I have to give it to him.
Yeah, no idea how. And then, ironically, funny enough, almost Max going past Leclerc helped him because he literally just stuck on Max's tail and just literally cut through the grid with him up to the end, which we'll get to. But also, it was a good competitive start, and I think they already knew, all right, with Norris first, Ricciardo was fourth, I think, from the start, so they knew they had to put in a strong performance. And unfortunately, Ferrari, bad decisions, just not a car that's competitive. But at the start it was a very good competitive start from them, and it was encouraging.
Yeah, I can't lie to you. I've seen Leclerc start on Twitter. It was absolutely nuts. I can't lie to you. It was really, really good. I had to give it to him, to be fair. But that's all the praises we're going to get off me for this season. So, yeah. Anyways, now talk to me about...
Before you go, I've got a question for JL.
Okay.
Where is the future of Ferrari? Like, where do you think you guys are heading driver-wise? Do you see Leclerc, is it long term, or do you think Sainz might be the face of the team next year?
No, I think Sainz has had the last 5-6 races he's been solid, just absolutely solid, and probably it's ironic. He's performed better than Leclerc, but he's only 4-5 points ahead of Leclerc in championship. So long term, Leclerc is still the face of Ferrari.
Considering this is the first season with the car, he doesn't know the car that much. He's just learning the car.
No. Put this way. As a partnership, it's probably up there with now Daniel Ricciardo as two drivers who are solid, competent, that as long as nothing happens by team orders, we'll stick it and get points. So it's good that he has a partner that's doing well. Leclerc's mishaps are more his fault than anybody else's. So once he kind of deals with those, you have two competitive racers in hopefully a competitive car. So I think Sainz has probably bought himself an additional year, because I believe it was a 2-3 year deal. So they definitely now have number one, which is Charles, and a very competitive number two. It's just now, can they do McLaren and put a car for those two drivers to be competitive next year?
Leclerc has out-qualified Sainz, though.
Follow up.
I said Leclerc has out-qualified Sainz this season.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. So follow up to that, would you say Sainz has had like the higher highs this year than
100%.
than the lows? Like, his lows have not even been as bad as Leclerc's lows. and his highs have been better than Leclerc's highs. Would you sort of admit?
I know what you're trying to do.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm just asking.
I mean, he does have more podiums than that little Monegasque as well.
As I've said, yeah. For all of this, all the highs that Sainz has had, for all of the good stuff and the consistency, he is only literally 4 or 5 points ahead of Leclerc. So for Leclerc, who's had DNFs, not even starting races, he's been touching distance. So take that as you will. That one driver who's, you're right, new to the team, been consistent for at least 5-6 races, is still only marginally ahead of the number one driver. So take as it is.
No, fair enough. We'll see. Yeah, sorry, Richard, you can go on.
Nobody's well, just doing God's work. I like it. Now, tell me about George Russell's start, the way he managed to hang on to P3. As a certain cast member, I think who's in here, said that he would have got dunked on into turn 1, and he didn't. So, is that maybe the Williams car, or is that talent from a driver? I don't know. I'm just the host.
I mean, Russia's a slipstream. It's a slipstream track in it, so you always get your DRS tunnels and nothing really essentially happens. So I think for George, he placed his car well. He knew the capabilities of what that car can do. Put it behind. I can't remember what he put it behind.
Stroll. Yeah.
He didn't put it behind Stroll. Stroll's behind him, isn't it?
Yeah, Stroll's behind him.
Yeah, Stroll, because Stroll's a terrible driver.
It was behind Sainz, I think.
No, because we really need to talk about Lance Stroll, because how does he not overtake a Williams?
I was gonna get to that.
I'm sorry, like
don't worry, we'll get onto that little terrorist. Don't worry, he's a legit terrorist.
There's a whole 8-second gap.
Russell did well at the start. He did what he could. Like I've always said about a Williams car. The Williams car is not good enough to be in that position. So for the fact that he continued to stay third, fourth for quite a bit and at the start, to me, is commendable. It's part of his driving. At least he knows where to position his car, unlike some other Finnish terrorists who doesn't know how to position their car around the track. So at least Russell knew what he was doing around the track and continued to maintain his position. So he did well. But come back to me on the Finnish terrorist, and we'll talk about that.
Sorry, we'll get onto that. That's cool. Now to talk about bad race starts and Lewis's terrible starts. I'll come to you, Kunle. What do you think about Lewis's abysmal starts and why he keeps doing this all season?
All right. I don't think today was a bad start per se. It was more of where he put his car and where other drivers decided to go to. So, the race started and he was looking to go to the right and go for the right. But unfortunately for him, Danny Rick came in there and blocked out that right, while Alonso... Huh?
I thought it was Lando.
Was it Lando?
He was coming down the right to go.
Yeah, he was coming up. So he was coming down the right.
Sainz went around Lando on
Lando,
the left.
Yeah.
And so Lando had to move over and blocked off Lewis. So Lewis had to end up braking and
exactly. So he had to brake, and he let Danny Rick and what's this old man's face called? Fernando Alonso sort of go on the left. That there was.
Let's speak of Fernando Alonso. What he did. He didn't go on. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't an accident what this man did. On the formation lap, the guy practiced going wide.
Yeah.
And then when the race happened, he went full send, went off the track, and then joined the track without giving any of the positions back. And nobody said anything.
No one said anything.
Terrorist behavior.
I thought about it. Like at the time, no one said anything. Not even the commentators. Like
I think Karun Chandok said, "Oh, we've just seen Alonso go off the track on formation lap, and he's practicing doing that for the race." And guess what he did in the race?
It was wild. So I had because I was listening to F1 TV, and then I listened to BBC Radio 5's commentary before the race. and they were saying, "What is Alonso doing? He looks like he's testing the whole track with the runoffs in the formation lap." So yeah, you're right, Mahad. Like he fully knew. Okay, so that is my line. That's where I am going, and we'll see what happens after that.
You know what? I will say though,
it makes sense, right?
It's smart because he knew first lap do it a bit more relaxed on certain things. So you thought, okay, as you said, it's turn one's gonna be chaos. Why should I get involved? I might get clipped. Let me just go around. And then if anyone asks me, why did you go around and get back? Well, there's no space.
There's no space. I was trying to avoid an accident. If I had went there, I'd have hit someone.
He did it bait though. You're not supposed to do it sneaky. He did it bait, man.
Yeah. So
he was taking the TV out of Tesco in broad daylight. He just didn't care. He was just like, I'm going full send wide. There's bare space there. He said, nah, I'm going full send. But you have to respect the shamelessness, man.
Yeah, so Alonso did that. And then it meant Lewis had gone from fourth or third. Was it fourth? Yeah, gone from fourth to seventh.
Seventh, yeah.
So he had to get past Alonso, which was very critical. If not, it would have been another Hungary over and over again. He had to get past Alonso, and then it was stuck behind Danny Rick, who was stuck behind Stroll, who was stuck behind Russell. And I don't understand how Stroll couldn't go past Russell. It wasn't even close. He had DRS.
Stroll created a DRS train by not getting past
Russell.
And that is what kind of held up everyone. And I think, in a way, what Stroll did kind of helped Lewis more than getting past, I think. Because
I'm not sure it did, though.
I think it did. Like holding him up and then Stroll going to pit early and stuff, because Stroll can't manage his tyres. So once Stroll pitted early, everyone else started thinking, oh, we need to start pitting early. So I think Ricciardo then went in, and then Russell went in, and they're all coming back. Lewis then had that clean air just to go create time, and then I can't even remember. It was just so chaotic when they're all coming out.
I feel like if Lewis had cleared that train earlier and he had clean air, I don't think he would have panicked pit like the rest of them did. Because Stroll panicked as usual, like he always does, because Daddy's not there to feed him right through the mouth. You know.
Jesus Christ.
Like he flipping panicked, and I don't know it wasn't Brad. Brad wasn't on radio today.
Hey, they took Brad off him. They got beat. He told his dad, "Get Brad off he's not my race person anymore."
They took Brad away. Yeah,
Brad's gone.
No, apparently, no. Brad was doing something else, but he was still there at the racetrack. But apparently, he's getting a promotion. Apparently he's getting a promotion, so he wasn't there. He was still there to like help out, but not.
Sure he's not in a Russian gulag.
Probably, maybe he's doing 24-hour bango. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what happens to bango.
Yeah. Stroll's.
Guys, we are not getting invited to no F1 things after this. We get it.
Stroll is
no hospitalities. No media cards, nothing. We're not getting it. We should forget it.
All right, let's keep it a box. Stroll is a terrorist. Because why are you behind the second worst car on the grid in the same engine?
Not according to Marts, but yeah.
I mean, I feel like that Williams car is not the second worst, but Mats, I'm on you with that, but
I feel like the AlphaTauri is worse. Wow.
Yeah, I've been public enough with that, so today's not about that. But Stroll was behind that guy for way too long. He messed up his tires, and then
he crashed into his teammate.
That was
twice as
well.
Twice.
That's much later. At the early part, he was. I don't know what his brain was telling him. Like it's the same way he panicked in Turkey last year. Like, I need new tires, get me on slicks, get me on wet.
He drives like he's got a BMW on the M-Way. That's what he drives like.
Yeah. So, and then when Stroll pits, the race opens up for everyone else. Because initially, everyone was saying, like, I remember on TV, the Resta and what's his name, Crofty were like, they think I mean Lewis should pit to cover off those guys pitting. But then, even though their tires went off initially, it came back to them. You know, the rubber down again, and they were able to stay pacey. And yeah, we ended up where we ended up. But yeah, Stroll, nah, that man's a terrorist.
Yeah, most definitely.
I do have one thing to say. Like, do you think, like, in terms of when it comes to the bad starts, like Red Bull last year, they're notorious for their bad starts. It's when they were like on pole, and they said they seem to fix that this year by doing something that enables Max to get off the line quicker. Do you think that it's kind of like just caught everyone by surprise that everyone thinks, okay, Lewis is having bad starts, but really Max is just getting off the line quicker than usual?
I think there's something wrong with the car.
It's the second phase, man. It's the second phase.
Yeah.
You see, off the line, they might be level off the line, but there's something that just kicks in that Red Bull that just goes,
Yeah.
cheerio, and it just goes off.
No, I think there's something wrong with the Mercedes in terms
Don't
of
forget,
starts. I don't
Mercedes
think this is. I can't
That car
attribute
looks
it
like
to
it's
Lewis.
last year's car. I can't even lie. It looks like it's just last year's car. I don't think they've actually developed it that much. There's been minimal development on the car from last
And
year.
let's not forget. I feel like Mercedes were having slow. They were not having the great starts last year either. And you know, there's been times where like they've not started well, but just because they were like at least 1 second faster than everyone else, they were able to like recover and make up for that bad start. But this year they can't follow cars. I don't want to speak on Mercedes. Let's just keep it as it is.
Yeah, that's not. Anyways, moving on to Nam's favorite driver, none other than the Finnish Charles himself, Valtteri Bottas. So Nam, what did you think of Bottas's performance today? And did you think Mercedes' decision to change the engine in order to hold up Max, which only lasted 6 laps, so basically for a waste of time, do you think that was all worth it in the end?
This guy, yeah. So let's talk about the engine first, the engine change. I said in the chat, I thought it was a genius move because it wasn't necessary. I didn't think it's necessarily to hold up Max. I think it was to see the performance of that engine and whether to probably risk it for Lewis in future races, which I think they're not going to do. They're going to try and hold it out unless the engine completely has to go. They'll probably hold it out and try and keep that until the end. Or unless Max blows up his engine somehow, then they'll probably say, okay, we could take a loss on this one as well. But Bottas, man, Jesus Christ. This guy is, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but when you go to work, yeah, and you have this colleague that you potentially might think is racist, but he doesn't outrun me.
But it's the little things. It's like the
microaggressions that he does, and you think, wow, like what's going on? And then let's say you or he now goes to a different place, and like he gets moved or he gets a promotion or something. And then all the things that you were saying or microaggressions come out to fruition. Like, oh, he says something racist. He says something to a colleague. Or he just changes his tone. That is Bottas right there. I don't get why you thought it was okay to just go, oh, Max is coming. Let me move out the way. Let me not attack a corner. Let me not actually drive and actually be a racing driver. Let me just let him go past and wave as you go past.
Sorry, Nam, to cut you. For the rester to even say, why did Bottas not defend there? Then there's a problem. For Paul the rester, of all people, to say, how is Bottas not? Bottas has seen this man come from behind. Why is he not even trying to cover that corner?
From far. You know why? Because you know why? Like I said, when you yourself have the microaggressions of a racist, you do things things start to ooze off you. Yeah. So this is just one of them. This is a person who can't stand the fact. And as much as people say, oh, they were teammates, I think they actually do like each other. They probably have respect. The way Bottas and his microaggressions while he drives, makes me know that he doesn't like Lewis Hamilton. He doesn't like the fact that Lewis Hamilton is a 7-time world champion, and he believes that Max Verstappen should win this championship to justify his thing.
He's mean, man.
I wouldn't go that far, but Bottas has shown
No,
that
but
he doesn't.
It's microaggressions. It's not outwardly things.
I
This
always
race, not defending because he drove and fought other drivers, but he didn't do that with Max. Last race in Monza, when the thing came up on the big screen and he said, "Oh, I don't know what, I don't have anything to say." The reason why he doesn't have anything to say is because to him it was like, oh, so Max is in the wrong here. If I say something, it would justify it. Like I can't come to give myself some terms, or I can't allow myself to say that Lewis is in the right or Lewis has been hurt in this situation. I'm done with Bottas. Today, I hope Toto went to find that contract and called Bottas into his office and just lit him on fire. That's what I hope. I hope that happened there and said, pack your bags, you're off to Williams, you can chill over there, and Russell was coming here and we'll see what happens. Because I'm done. I'm done with his behavior. I'm done with the way he drives. At the beginning of the season, I said he was a dangerous driver. And I'm gonna stand by that by saying he's dangerous because his mindset is dangerous. Yeah. He might not be a dangerous driver on the field.
You remember, I will never forget. I will never forget when he admitted that he gave Verstappen the toe so he can get third, so he can win the Sochi.
You know what? I thought Kimi Räikkönen's last season Ferrari was the worst, like phoning it in. But this is worse because at least here he has a competitive car.
And he's just acting like the fool that he is. A car that's supposed
crazy.
to be.
It's so funny though, because he's like, he went from, what did he say at the start of the season, that he's a different type of animal this season and he's coming to fight for the title. And then like the other day he was like, oh yeah, I'll do anything to help Hamilton in the title race. It's just...
But he's capping. Whenever he says he's a new guy, he's capping. It's like a person that's on a diet that never loses weight. He's capping. There's nothing that ever changes.
Matt, remember that time when you tweeted when you said not gonna lie, yeah, that's the same thing. With Bottas.
I personally think Bottas isn't capable to do the things that you're asking him to do in terms of like holding up Max. I don't think. Bottas had DRS open and got dunked on by Max. Yeah. You got DRS open, bro.
But this is my point, Mahad. Yeah, he is capable of doing it because he's done it before. This is what's the annoying thing.
He ain't won a race in 365 days.
Yeah, but that's fine. But he has previously in the past been a driver who I used to say he's like Chelsea. He won't win it, but he'll prevent someone from winning it. So, and
Chelsea is not like Chelsea. I want to apologize to Chelsea fans.
No.
Yeah, that's a bit. Nah.
It's not a slight. Hear me out. It's not a slight on Chelsea. What I'm saying is Chelsea historically, if they're not going to win the league, they will affect the person who will win the league. You have to go through Chelsea to win the league. Like that's how it is in recent Premier League history. With Bottas before, if you were going to win a race, you had to get past Bottas in order to win those races, or he will affect the race somehow before. Now, he's just bending over and allowing people that he wants to get past him. Previously,
but you're right. He's proved he can do it. He's proved he can do it because he did it at Monza. He literally did it at Monza. He got past all the people he needed to do, and he blocked off whoever he needed to block off. So he knows, he can do it. He has the skill level to do it. He's just not doing it.
Yeah. And
Get Bottas to Alfa Romeo. So next year, like Kimi, we don't talk about him no more. He's just another person on the grid that he's there. He's done. He's pointless. He's an enigma.
Yeah, it's not.
He did get P5 though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did get P5, but it's not even.
How did that
Fugazi
happen?
P5.
Because I don't know what happened during that thing. I think
Well, I think it was one of the first. It was one of the first guys to get on intermediates.
Yeah, because those things come in, isn't it? So they
Like everyone's fun.
Yeah, that's probably it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
anyway, long story short, I'm done with him. Okay, I am done with Bottas. I need him removed from F1. He should be first removed, and then I'll get the rest of the people that need to get removed off F1.
Massa go to IndyCar. You know?
He's already got a new
Jesus
contract.
Christ.
He's all good. He's
No.
all good.
Like I think Alpha needs to think about what they're gonna do for
They
their
need to
own
renew
reputation.
Giovinazzi.
Yeah, they need to really think about that. And
Oh my god.
yeah, that.
Chio High, we live, baby, we live.
Nah, but yeah, the whole racial microaggression thing is a bit of. I don't know about them.
Bit of a stretch.
I don't know about them ones. But yeah,
No, that's the thing. It's
I
not.
don't-
Our very own Dr. Umar.
I don't know about them ones. from the man that brought you doesn't even know comes racial.
But here's my thing. Yeah, here's my thing.
Oh, nah.
All telltale signs. You watch what happens with Bottas. I keep saying, yeah, it's like he will do something.
But now for all of the Bottas criticism is in P3, comfy still
What P3 where?
in the
The
championship.
championship. Shit.
Comfy.
Comfy.
P3? I thought Lando was.
He's like 20 points
Nah.
clear, so
It's like 20
Should have
points
been.
clear.
20 points clear
No.
of Perez or something.
Oh yeah, he would have if Lando finished first, second. Or
Yeah.
third, he would have gone past him.
So
Yeah.
just saying,
I mean, he drives a
Right.
Mercedes, so I expect that stuff. Yeah, but still, what you watch, you know what? Let's find I'm gonna try and find every microaggression, and I'm gonna put it in the Twitter feed. Yeah, and you're gonna see it, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, okay." So he doesn't know.
And the funny thing is that you actually will do this.
I know. You know I will.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah,
you know I
that's
will.
the funny thing. Yeah, actually will as well. That's
So-
funny. Yeah, good.
And he-
Yeah,
he
so
put on the nil.
Bottas
That's
is.
really good. I'm done.
but also
Yeah.
like, let's not forget. I think Max took a new engine as well and some extra upgrades. So
That
I wasn't expecting Max to be at the back of that grid for long.
that
either.
car is fast.
Yeah,
And
don't
that
worry,
car-
we'll get onto that. Don't worry,
that
we'll get
car
onto
is
that.
fast.
Get onto that. Anyways, other than Spot 'em Got 'em gang, Mahad, talk to me about Max Verstappen's performance today.
I think he did well, especially at the start. He managed to. Obviously, when you have the fastest car on the grid, you're expected to slice through the grid like butter, and did what he needed to do in terms of getting through the people that he's supposed to get past and getting to near the top 10. He then got stuck in that DRS train that Alonso started for some reason. Alonso was just holding a lot of people back from, I think, maybe 8th position, 9th position, and so on, and had everybody behind him. So it was Max, Leclerc, Vettel, and so on. And we saw that little battle there. He managed to overtake Leclerc and Vettel. The way he took over Leclerc was a bit. Leclerc was trying to overtake Vettel. Max Maniac put his nose somewhere that he shouldn't need to be. That kind of like pushed Leclerc wide, and he managed to get himself through that. And him and Leclerc just went through the grid quite easy. This is the problem when it got to Alonso. That's when I felt like his tire management wasn't good. He was trying to push. I saw him, and he was stuck in his DRS train, and he kept on sticking in fastest laps. And I'm thinking, why are you putting in fastest laps on a DRS train? You need to kind of like save your tires and probably go long. But he pitted the second he saw Lewis pit. He pitted as well. Put on some mediums and was complaining about graining more, and something was wrong with his car. He complains quite a lot on the radio, but he managed to put himself in a position where he was still in the top 10. And when all the chaos happened, when the rain happened towards the end, he was one of the early ones to say, yeah, I'm seeing people sliding off. This is undrivable. Put me on intermediates. And at that time, he was on mediums that were quite worn and the track was very wet. And he managed to maintain a not slide off just for that lap on that in lap, and managed to do a really quick pit stop and managed to get out there and snatch P2 out of nowhere because of the chaos that happened on the front. So yeah, he locked out, but he managed to make the best of the situation. He had a grid penalty for the new engine and new parts, and had a grid penalty from what happened in Monza, and he still didn't take it out. He still got P2. So in terms of Red Bull, I think they would be happy in terms of the Drivers' Championship, and he managed to salvage his situation going from P20 to P2. So I can't really have any criticism or anything like that because he did what he was supposed to do.
So Bottas is an absolute bum, man. He's an absolute. How did you let him finish P2 and you were ahead of him? And this guy
because Max Verstappen's a better driver than Bottas.
At some point in the race, Bottas was P15 at some point. Don't forget.
I don't know. I don't care, man.
It's fool's gold if you're a Mercedes fan and you believe that Bottas is going to stop Max Verstappen. It's just stupidness.
He's not going to stop him, but he should be doing something to prevent that.
But in that type of situation where what happened towards the end and it was pure chaos, and he managed to get a podium out of it, I think any person that bet on Max getting a podium is probably loaded right now before the race. So he managed to make a bad situation good, and I think that might be crucial for whatever happens later on down in the season, because this should have the perfect scenario should have been for Mercedes anyway. Lewis wins the race and Max has either got low points, maybe 8th or 9th, or has no points at all, and that didn't really transpire, and it's kind of like taking the penalty doesn't even matter.
But yeah, it kind of makes you wonder if it didn't rain, that would he stayed in 7th, really, truly. But yeah, go on now.
But I think that's the point that Marx is trying to say. Like, Max was only behind Bottas for 6 laps, right? So he effectively didn't affect Max's race whatsoever. And regardless of what happened in the wet, when the rain started to come, if Max is in a worse position or has to change his strategy earlier, he doesn't necessarily get a podium. Like it doesn't have that. He's too far back in order for him to get a podium. So the fact that Bottas has allowed him the opportunity to race up into a position where he could get points, decent amount of points, and the luck of the rain has caused havoc in order for him to literally sneak through the back door into second place, it's a sad indictment on Bottas and his ability to be a team player, and it's shocking. But credit where credit's due. Max is he's really doing everything he can to become World Championship. It's not going to happen, but he really is doing whatever.
This rain.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, we talk about pivotal moments, and as you said, it was like raining. Perez pitted. Perez came out in front of him, so he would have been fifth at the time. Fourth. Everyone was asking, all right, are they going to do the route? Well, as I said in the chat, there's no point because Perez on fresher tires. Then I think Alonso took him as well, so he would have been, I think, fifth, and Leclerc was chasing him down as well. So had it not been for the rain, he probably would have finished 6th, maybe even 7th.
Leclerc overtook him.
Yeah, Leclerc overtook him. I think it was 7th.
Yeah, he was in P7.
He was really struggling at that point when Alonso and Leclerc overtook him. So the rain was kind of massive.
His tires were gone. At that point.
Yeah,
it was 7th. Yeah.
So yeah, no, it could be pivotal because I think Hamilton would have probably still gotten top 3 without the rain, and he would have, as you said, gotten 3-4 points, and obviously when you work it out differently, the point difference may not be the same. But yeah, just mentally knowing that you've come from last to second is a massive mental boost versus last to maybe ninth and your positive rival got third. So that's why I think this could potentially be pivotal in Max's mind that, all right, we could maybe do this. Not that I want him to, but he may think he can now.
Yeah, no, it was a brilliant performance from Max, to be fair, to get from last to second, even if you could say changeable conditions did play in his favour, because he was stuck behind Lando himself for quite a while, but what it is, the game is the game. JL, talk to me about your boy Charles. Had the best start out to anyone, and then somehow didn't want to pit and ended up 15th. Talk to me.
Charles is... He's not Ferrari, right? Charles is like a living embodiment of Ferrari, where...
I think you're a bit close now. Sam is very close to the camera. We want to know about Leclerc. The streets want to know.
Right, cool. So good start. Good start. As I said at the start, from 19th up to like 11th. Then naturally, Maxwell took him because faster car. Then he just kept on with Max, cutting through the grid. I think at one point, I think Alonso, Max, Leclerc, and a few others were like 23 laps in on the same tires. So time management was doing very well. Then, as you said, the last part of the race, he was chasing down Max, and for whatever reason, like Ferrari I think Sainz wasn't. I think it was Sainz in front of him, so I think that they would have been 6th and 7th, I think. And for whatever reason, Ferrari made the decision to pit Sainz. The videos I've seen, there's one particular video whereby Claire is telling his team, like he's telling Ferrari, like, no, we need to pit. And they're like, yeah, maybe it's up to you, X, Y, and Z. They then make the decision as he's going past the pit entry line to tell him to now pit. Now, that's it.
Are we sure?
Body's Ferrari. Now,
I saw more footage of Leclerc just kind of ignoring his radio. He just driving around.
Yeah. And he went past Sainz. He went to go on pits as well. Mm-hmm.
And then he said he got the call. Sainz has pitted. It's raining, and he's just driving along like it's a Sunday drive.
No, that's because
sounds like some bad bitch. One's got paid enough stripper dollars.
That happened afterwards, yeah. Because I said there's other footage whereby he is engineer having this conversation, and by the time he was told to pit, it was too late. And obviously, Sainz has pitted already, so I don't blame him for ignoring them because it was a stupid decision from all parties. Just Ferrari will do okay, put himself in a position whereby at one point I was thinking, all right, Sainz will get top 3, and Leclerc will get top 5. Wonderful, and yeah, he just like that extra lap on the mediums, completely and utterly failed. Lucky to not completely pin it in the wall, and that sums up Leclerc's race and his season. However, as I said, he's still only 5 or so points behind Sainz. So once Ferrari fixes up and he gets through some errors, you have a competitive driver there.
Ferrari fix up.
Okay, blah blah blah. Ferrari
ain't never fixing on.
Anyways, let's talk about Lando's performance.
Listen. I'm a black man who supports an Italian team. Trust me, I know. Ferrari are never
and you shouldn't be. But anyways, moving on into why black people shouldn't do certain things. Mahad, talk to me about Lando's performance today, and just start breaking down for me.
Lando was fantastic today. Managed to gain a lead on Sainz and was really just coasting throughout the race and was kind of speaking on the radio. Should I go fast? Should I go slow? He was in a comfortable position. And then he saw the GOAT Lewis Hamilton in his mirrors, and it got a bit hairy. And then the sky started to turn grey, and it started to rain. And this is where I've been like rattling in my mind to kind of decide, okay, who's to blame here in terms of, okay, the rain is coming. McLaren are aware the rain is coming. McLaren has a bespoke system that can see the rain going over the track. I know they get their feedback from their drivers to say, okay, guys, it's getting wet here, it's getting slippy and so on. But in my eyes, the pit wall needs to tell you to pit, and not just a suggestion of pit. It's box, get in, we're putting inters on. And for somebody that's okay, like Lando Norris, this could possibly be his first ever win in Formula One. He's not really that experienced at leading a race, and you've already had this. You had a scenario where you was leading a race, last race in Monza. You needed to just make an executive decision, and you needed to make that decision before Mercedes and Lewis to pit and put inters on, and give you the best chance of winning that race. And guess what? If it doesn't work, you've lost the race to Lewis Hamilton and you're still second. What transpired actually was Norris telling them guys, nah, I'm staying out here. And then it started to chuck it down. And then he was like Bambi on ice out there. He did okay the first two laps or whatever, but then it started getting real peak and he kept on going off the track because of how wet it was, and he's on mediums that are used, and he went wide on, I don't know that exact corner, and Lewis Hamilton, who pitted for inters because he ignored the first radio, Lewis, but then he actually listened to Mercedes, the second radio, and pitted and put inters on, and that kind of shows the difference between experiences. Lewis is kind of like, okay, maybe I ignored him the first time because he's not pitting, but the second time, that means it's serious, maybe I need to go in because they know information I don't know. And that's the kind of thing that McLaren needed to do. I think it's a failure on McLaren for allowing that to happen. The failure on McLaren as well, because you had Daniel Ricciardo in a position now he was in front of Lewis Hamilton, and you did the worst pit stop I've ever seen. I think the second worst pit stop. I think the worst pit stop today was Perez's one, 8.9 seconds. Ridiculous.
Let's get into that, the pit stops. Let's get into that.
Yeah. But so you already fucked over Daniel Ricciardo because that's a possible podium right there. And then you kind of fucked over Lando. I know Lando is going to say it's a team effort, so on and so on. It was a team decision and so on. But the team has to really take the reins and say, look at where McLaren, we've been in Formula One for how long? We know how to deal with this situation. Let's coast him through this. And he'll understand at the end, because even if he doesn't win the race, you've got P2. It comes to, because Lewis and Lando were long gone compared to everybody else. So even if you both pitted and put it in inters on, your 1-2 is secured. It's just deciding which way you go. So for me, yes, Lewis won 100, but it's kind of bittersweet because we could have got back-to-back wins, and Lando could have got his first win. And it's I feel like it's points thrown away. It's McLaren need to take a long hard look at themselves and say, okay, where did we go wrong here in the debrief? Because that can't happen again, especially if we're looking to the future and seeing, okay, we might be fighting for championships in the next regulation. So we need to be on point when it comes to this strategy.
Yeah, most definitely. It was a good performance from Lando, but, I admire him for wanting to take the risk of staying out there, but obviously it didn't pay off, But he's definitely got, plenty of wins within his career, for sure. Anyways, moving on to Sir Lewis Hamilton himself. He's finally done it. 100 wins. Kunle, chat to me. Kunle? Yeah. Oh. The wine.
The wine out.
Man's getting the rosé out.
You drink from the bottle when you win 100.
He's drunk 100 of them.
Yes.
He's drunk. Think about it. 100 times is made a certain section of people cry. Just think about it.
Yes.
Speak on it.
Yes.
100 times.
Speak on the king.
There's been easy ones. There's been hard ones. There's been, team orders. There's been ridiculous drives. There's been great drives. But, I look back at it and it feels like Canada was yesterday, like 2007, when he got the first one. And this man has won, every year he's won a race.
Every year.
For 15.
Even the down years.
For 15.
For
season.
15 years. 15 seasons.
15 people.
People have come and gone.
They've come and gone.
Drivers have come into the sport and left.
They've left.
Speak on it, bro.
Retired.
You know, certain man have come to the
One
sport.
championship and done.
They've gone to go do other. You know, they've gone to go do other series.
They're doing comms,
and they've come back.
Yes.
And this man is still winning.
Still winning.
I mean, it's
Still
just
winning.
It's hard to describe greatness when you're witnessing it, because I feel like we won't appreciate it fully. We won't take it fully until years down the line and you think about it and you say, this nigga really won 100 races. You know?
I don't think white people will be saying that. But
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think.
I don't think white people are saying that.
I don't want to hear white people say that, by the way. But his 100 races is, and I saw a stat on Twitter, and that's like, apparently that's like 9.5% of the total F1 races.
almost 10%.
Almost 10% of a whole sport.
Mm-hmm. And he is the sport, bro.
Certain drivers ain't got 100 starts, you know.
And I feel like we just take this greatness in a way, we take it for granted. It's almost like, you know, certain man's been saying 100's not gonna happen. When was 100 gonna happen?
Don't worry. We'll get onto that.
It's Lewis Hamilton, man. You know, and I don't want to sound like a certain part of Twitter, but this man, he dressed well. You know, was he not the Met Gala the other day?
He's a beautiful man.
It was up doing fashion. It was up doing fashion. You know, he has a lovely dog. He looks after his dog. He loves his family.
Shout out the family.
Shout out Roscoe, my G. He held it down for a while. You know, it comes to the track. He's got braids. He's got full hair. Even certain man that don't even have that much hair trying to dunk on him, say he's never gonna get 100. And it's you know.
Yo. You know, fucking man. I'm gonna have to just get into it now.
He's, you know, 100 times this man has made me. He's made my Sunday 100 times. Let's keep it that way.
It made you proud, black man. Yes.
And you know,
stuff it up.
Accolades for the goal.
100 wins. Crazy.
Last week, we reviewed the Schumacher documentary, right? And some people, this is the living goat. This is the goat for goats. And even he does have 100 wins. Like we are witnessing something that we probably won't. Yeah, like we can't process it until after he retires. Because I don't think anyone, I could be wrong, you know, will get anywhere near that again.
I don't think. I think
you can't hate.
It's just the consistency. Like even 2009 when McLaren had a shit car, he still won races. You know, even when he was having,
he had Mercedes, 2013 Mercedes, he still
won a race. You know, he had the bad moments. He had moments in McLaren where he felt like he didn't want to be in F1 no more. He wasn't really putting up those performances. But even in those years, he was still winning races. And that's just put the man in any car that can win a race, and he would win a race. And that's just it. Like, I wouldn't want anyone else driving for me if I had a team when there's Lewis Hamilton available. And that's just credit to what he's done. So shout out to him, man. I hope he enjoys it. It might be hard to enjoy it because it's still at the battle. You know, there's still a whole championship battle, but regardless of how this season goes, again, I said it earlier, he's got 2 triples, 100 plus poles, and now he's got 100 wins. And I don't know, I feel like this might just take the weight off and you just see him go brazy for the rest of the year. I don't know if he can go brazy for the rest of the year. I don't know if Mercedes have a car that was going to make him go brazy, but I just love to see it. I'm just glad.
I agree. I think he is a weight off his shoulders. I think he kind of really wanted this over the past couple of weeks, and because he wasn't quite getting it, and sometimes just near missing it, especially at Monza. He also had that chance at Spa where he possibly could have gone, and if the race actually happened, he could have gone on for it. But yeah, man, it's a weight off his shoulders, and he's got 100 wins now. Hopefully, he's a bit more free in the way he's driving, and he could be a bit more aggressive and take on Max Verstappen to go get number 8, because that's next on the agenda for us all.
100 wins, 100 poles, 100 plus podiums. Sir Lewis Hamilton, the Centurion.
Sir Lewis.
The Centurion.
What's his name? Is it William or James or something like that? His middle name. Is that middle name?
It's Carl Davidson or something.
Carl Davidson.
David, I don't know.
Carl Davidson. Call him the 100 man.
Yeah.
Lewis 100. Lewis
Carl
100
Davidson.
Hamilton.
100 man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
most
Lewis
definitely.
Carl
Yes.
Davidson Hamilton, MBE, member of the British Empire, or whatever that means. I think it is.
Anyway.
I was singing that today.
We're going
I
off track
was singing that today.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's not keep it political here. Anyways.
Yeah, we're never getting invited anywhere. Let's just forget about it.
It's not happening.
Oh well, fuck it. Anyways, let's move on to the most anticipated part of the episode today. Let me give you a little riddle before I set the mood. Here's the initials AP, but he reps a man who wears an RM. He's been slandering Lewis lately, but on today's part he is absent. Who am I talking about?
It's apparently partying in
Anik.
Dublin. It's partying.
Anik Percival Palmer. Boys, I know you're eager to tap in. So I'm going to set the alley-oop. Mahad, do what you need to do. Cook this done.
For listeners and viewers, you may be confused. You're like, okay, why are we putting Anik in court? And why is he not here?
Actually, hold on. Sorry. Got something just to set the mood.
Okay, go ahead, Richard.
Got evidence from the WhatsApp group chat of why we'll put on Anik in the Supreme Court. And it goes on the 9th of September. Bro, we've been saying Lewis to get 100 every race. Also on the 9th of September. This is banned from now. I do not want to hear Lewis and 100 in the same sentence. 11th of September. SMH, don't want to hear Lewis and 100, man. Yesterday, Lewis ain't touching podium. Friday, it's okay, bro. People still think Lewis is getting win 100. Yesterday also, as I told you, 100 wins won't happen. Just yesterday.
Can you repeat that last statement again? Repeat the last statement.
I want the listeners to hear this.
I want the listeners to hear
Read
it.
that last statement.
Just for listeners, this doesn't just happen in December. We got July the 16th. We may never see LH44 hit 100 wins. That's in July.
And he's been keeping us up until yesterday at 2:34 p.m.
Yesterday.
Lewis
No,
ain't
it
touching.
was no, something today.
No. I'm saying how long he's been keeping it up for. Just yesterday, 2:34 p.m. Lewis ain't touching podium, as I told you. 100 wins won't happen. Just yesterday, and 24 hours later, he got 100 win. Mahad, talk to them. Talk to these ends.
For a gentleman that proclaims that he is a Lewis Hamilton stan, a Lewis Hamilton fan, I've never seen an aura of negativity like this in my entire life regarding Lewis Hamilton. Where is the lack of respect? Why is there a lack of respect for a 7-time world champion? A man that has won 100 wins, has 100 wins, 100 poles. For you to think that he would not ever get 100 wins, what is the perception of the man, of Lewis Hamilton, from Anik's eyes, for him to even comprehend such foolishness? It's baffling to me that. So for me, I personally checked the group chat, and he's continually speaking hyperbole about Lewis Hamilton not getting win 100. It's not happening, so on and so on. He declared a transfer from being a Mercedes fan to being a Ferrari fan, as if he's a footballer on transfer deadline. These are not actions of somebody that may be somebody that is supporting Lewis Hamilton and is a Lewis Hamilton stan and think he's the greatest driver of all time. There is being cautious, I understand, and kind of like protecting yourself from what could go wrong, but to think that, okay, 8 is not coming or 100 is not coming and so on, and be quite open about it, and in front of people that are Lewis Hamilton fans as well, and proclaiming it. Do we have somebody? It's like Scooby-Doo, you know when you get the villain at the end and we're like, oh, who's the person that's been hating on Lewis Hamilton the whole time? Oh, it's the guy that was pretending to be a Lewis Hamilton fan. We've revealed Anik. We've revealed this. If you're watching,
and he would have got away with it. If
we're gonna post this on Twitter. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see we have revealed the traitor.
Let's see who you really are. Oh shit, it's Anik.
So he's a Lewis Hamilton fan with the mask on, and you take the mask off, it's a Leclerc fan, and we found him, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
And it gets even worse as well, because he's been, moving back and forth from McLaren Ferrari, which is absolutely egregious. It's basically the footballer has gone from Liverpool to United constantly.
I just think it's
so apparently because
I just think it's disgusting that he has declined to come on today to defend himself.
Declined to come into court so we can do shakara with some Sauvignon Blanc in Dublin. I can't believe it. Actually, can't believe it.
Exactly.
Do shakara with the Sauvignon Blank.
He's evading justice, and in today's climate, that's not a good thing to do, right? So he needs to come and collect.
Don't worry, his comeuppance is coming. It's coming. We will
this
get
is a pro Lewis Hamilton podcast, and we have a traitor among us. So,
and his name is Anik.
Viewers, people that talk to us, interact with us on Twitter and so on, we love you all. Please provide justice from Man Night skipping bail at the moment. Anik Percival Palmer. We'll put his wanted poster out.
Yeah. Put APB out, that man. You know what is nasty? 9:47 a.m. 9:47 a.m. Canadian time. I wake up. Friday night, man was out. I wake up at 9:47 a.m. I look at my phone.
You're sleeping for the whole Saturday.
On Saturday, 9:47 a.m. on a Saturday. I'm meant to be chilling in bed, doing some house cleaning. The first thing I see on my phone is that 100 club is looking a bit bleak, eh? I'm like,
how can he not be able to get into a club that he's made?
It's only for the Dama Russell agenda.
Anik. And I told Anik, come out, come defend yourself.
Come outside. Yeah.
It's like, come out. But that man said, nah, I just touched down Dublin. I'm going to a party.
Anik definitely packed the bag quickly so he can leave the country.
Yeah. That little emergency bag.
I don't understand how you got to Dublin. Dublin, how long is a flight from London to Dublin? Like an hour, right?
An hour and a half or something. 30 minutes. Or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that means he probably saw the race start and was like, I gotta go,
I got to do.
No. He saw the race start and quite confident. He replied to one of the tweets where I said Lewis is going to win, and he said low because of the poor start Lewis had. So he was quite confident at the beginning, and then as stuff started to transpire, he disappeared. He was like osmosis. He was just vapor in the air.
And that's why for those of you who saw Anik's name on the Mazepin of the Day award, this is why
you now know why.
Now you know why.
So we don't even need to do the Mazepin a Day award today because it's Anik. You may want to give it to somebody else. No,
unanimous. Anik Stroll, same person. They've got the same
guy. Maybe have both had dad issues. Yeah, both rich. Yeah, same.
I'm dead.
Shameful.
But no,
Especially because
let's be
you can
fair.
actually dial into this, you know. Like you don't need a camera. You can dial in, but
Yeah.
Of course, you could dial in,
Let's be fair.
but
Let's be fair. Anik, we do love you. We'll visit you from prison. Don't worry.
yes.
Bang your doors.
Yes. Yeah, but anytime Lewis wins, tell the whole block, hold the whole wing, go bang your doors. You just be in synchronization with them. Yo, bang your doors. Lewis has won again. All that shit. Yeah. Yeah, because boy, you're gonna be doing a beard. That's what you're gonna be doing. You're gonna be doing the crowns you be doing.
Your cellmate's Moss. Both these men are banged up. 23 hours.
Hey, listen, my crowds have never been that bad. Man. My crowds have never been that bad.
You're both Lewis doubters. What can we say?
I'm not a doubter. I'm not a doubter. I was defending.
Let the streets decide.
The streets. I got proof. When Anik was arguing about 100 wins, I was there defending Lewis, saying he will get 100 wins. I'm just.
Yeah, but you still slandering Lewis.
I will. Yeah, I will. Like a tough parent, I will say when I notice some things that you're doing wrong, I will come out and say it. I'm a very tough, strict parent.
Are you like that with your actual kids as well?
The grenading thing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't have kids. I don't have kids.
Your fellow countrymen, you want to be harsh with them.
Yeah,
Lewis, you won 100.
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
And
I've got to be hard on him. He's the greatest. He's the greatest Grenadian athlete that has ever been. Well, partially.
You also know some Grenada who's like done shit.
All four man.
Karani James in 400 meters, bruv. He's won gold medal.
I swear he won one goal that he dipped.
No, he got injured.
Oh, Rosberg.
He did a Rosberg. All right.
He got the world title. He got the Olympic gold.
Grenadian Rosberg, yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Nah,
shout out Grenada, man. Shout out the Grenadians.
Shout out all the Grenadians, man.
Yeah. All the grenades. Shout out to all them. Anyways.
You know what? Can we talk about Perez real quick? Because I don't know.
Hey, Perez is getting messed up. He's getting effed over by his team, man. It's getting controversial now. 8.9 second pit stop. The man might as well have got out of the car.
The fact of the matter is, Horner came out and said it the other day. I don't know if it was a mistake, but he said it. He said the car is made for Max's strengths, so you can't put it on the second driver no more. Like we can apologize to Gasly, to Albon, and Perez because it's clear now they just do it for Max, and it's not going to work for any other driver. It's not going to work for any other driver.
Max FC, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Say nothing.
Max Ball. That's it. It's Max Ball.
That's a Max.
That is nasty.
My God. Right. Anyways, let's move on to driver of the day and just quickly get everyone's driver of the day. Really, Mahad, who's your driver of the day?
My driver of the day is Lando Norris. Even though whatever happened, I think for 95% of the race, he was the best driver on the grid, and it's unfortunate what happened. So I know people will think that's controversial. They'll probably think Lewis or Sainz or so on, or Max or whatever. But I'm going for Lando, so that's my choice personally.
Cool. Nam, who's your driver of the day?
Lando. I think he led the race. What 51 laps. I mean, it's no mean feat. So yeah, it's just wrong decision making towards the end that caused him to essentially lose this race and not even make the podium. So yeah, him and probably I'd say Lewis. I can't give it to Max because I just can't do it.
That's fair. JL, who's your driver today?
Oh, it's gonna be Lando. I was gonna be shameless and give it to Sainz, but I can't justify it. So I can't do Max. So yeah, listen, 51 out of 53 laps with leading. lost due to immaturity from his end, from the team's end. That doesn't take away from what he did, which was a strong. I mean, at one point he was 10 seconds leading, 10 seconds ahead leading the race. So he dominated. So he's driving the day.
Okay, Malt.
Fernando for the absolute shithousery that he performed today. We love it. That's it. But no, Lando, I think great drive, and he's been great all weekend. So he's the only one. But honourable mention to Fernando.
Cool. And Kunle.
For me, it's a toss-up between Lando and Alonso, purely because of Lando was phenomenal. You know, in the dry, he always felt like he had that measure. He could defend when he needed to, and you know, throughout when Lewis was pushing, he would close up the gap. And in the last sector, you just pull out like 0.2 or almost half a second and open up that gap again. And even shut out any possibility of DRS. He shut out the possibilities of DRS. You know, when Lewis was chasing, and you know when he was chasing Sainz, when Sainz got him at the start, saved his tires for a bit, and then went for attack and got him. So I feel like he drove a very good race up until the rain, and even I think he got away with getting a penalty as well, because he only got a reprimand. So if he had gotten a penalty, maybe he wouldn't be my driver of the day, because you don't, you know, you're going into a pit, you know, you don't cross the white line of the pit lane. And Alonso also had a solid race. You know, felt like he was in a lonely race, but when he needed to go past people, he did that and he held his position. And yeah, but overall, based on the driving and everything, I feel like Lando deserves to be driver of the day.
Okay, cool. Don't think there's any points in us doing Mazepin awards, because obviously that's Anik. But yeah, you know. Anyways, listeners, thanks for tuning in, watching, and whatever. You know, that's all for today. And don't forget to obviously like, subscribe. You know, comments. You know, tell us how you really feel. You know, tell us. You know, how you feel about Anik being, you know, obviously getting a Mazepin award, him skipping calls as well. You know, that's illegal. You know, and it's not really, you know, being a good Lord of Band citizen. You know, yeah, tell us in the comments, at us at Pitstop Fracas, both on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, we'll see you until next time. Peace.
PDR, go away.